Once upon a time, in a vast forest full of life, there lived a hare who was known far and wide for his incredible speed. He was the fastest creature in the forest, and he never hesitated to remind everyone of this fact. "Look at how fast I can run," he would say, racing from one end of the forest to the other in the blink of an eye. The other animals admired his speed, but after a while, they grew tired of his constant bragging. The hare didn't care, though. He believed he was unbeatable and enjoyed showing off whenever he could. Among the animals that lived in the forest was a tortoise. The tortoise was the complete opposite of the hare. He was slow, deliberate, and calm. He never rushed and always took his time with everything he did. The tortoise had heard the hare's boasting many times, and while most animals ignored the hare, the tortoise decided he would do something different. One sunny afternoon, as the hare was once again boasting about his speed to a group of animals, the tortoise slowly approached him. "You may be fast," said the tortoise in his slow, steady voice, "but I believe I could beat you in a race." The other animals were shocked. How could a tortoise, one of the slowest creatures in the forest, possibly think he could beat the hare? The hare, upon hearing this challenge, burst into laughter. "You beat me in a race?" he said between chuckles. "That's the funniest thing I've heard all day." But the tortoise didn't laugh. He remained calm and serious. "Yes," he said, "I may be slow, but I believe with patience and determination, I can win." Intrigued by the tortoise's confidence, the hare decided to accept the challenge. "All right," said the hare, still amused by the idea. "Let's race tomorrow. We'll start at sunrise, and the finish line will be at the big oak tree on the other side of the forest." The news of the race spread quickly, and by the next morning, all the animals in the forest had gathered to watch. There were birds perched on branches, deer standing at the edge of the clearing, and even a few squirrels who had climbed high into the trees for a better view. The sun was just beginning to rise as the hare and the tortoise stood at the starting line. The hare, full of confidence, stretched his legs and gave the tortoise a smug look. "You're going to regret this," he said, "but I suppose it's your decision." The tortoise, as always, remained calm. "We'll see," he replied simply. As soon as the race began, the hare shot forward like a bolt of lightning. In just a few moments, he was far ahead of the tortoise, who had barely taken his first few steps. The hare glanced back and saw the tortoise moving slowly, one foot in front of the other. "This is going to be easier than I thought," the hare said to himself. He continued to sprint until he was halfway to the finish line. Then, feeling confident in his lead, the hare decided to take a break. He found a soft patch of grass under a shady tree and sat down. "There's no way the tortoise will catch up to me," he thought. "I'll take a quick nap and still have time to win." As the hare dozed off, the tortoise kept moving forward, slow but steady. He didn't stop to rest, didn't look around, and didn't worry about how far ahead the hare was. His mind was focused on the finish line. The other animals, watching from the sides, began to cheer him on. "Go, tortoise, go!" they shouted. "You can do it!" The tortoise didn't respond. He just kept walking, step by step, never losing his focus. Time passed, and the sun climbed higher into the sky. The tortoise kept moving, and eventually, he passed the tree where the hare was still sleeping. The hare, completely unaware, continued to snooze while the tortoise steadily approached the finish line. As the tortoise got closer, The cheering from the other animals grew louder. "He's almost there," they shouted. "He's going to win." The noise finally woke the hare, who jumped up in a panic. He looked around and saw the tortoise only a short distance from the finish line. "No!" the hare cried. "This can't be happening." The hare leaped to his feet and sprinted as fast as he could, his legs moving in a blur. But it was too late. Just as the hare was about to catch up, the tortoise crossed the finish line, winning the race. The crowd of animals erupted in cheers, celebrating the tortoise's victory. The hare skidded to a stop, panting and out of breath. He couldn't believe what had just happened. He had been so sure of his victory, and yet the slowest creature in the forest had beaten him. The tortoise, breathing heavily but smiling, turned to the hare and said, "Slow and steady wins the race." The hare, humbled by his defeat, nodded in agreement. He had learned a valuable lesson that day. Speed and talent are important, but patience, determination, and consistency can lead to success. From that day forward, the hare was never as boastful as before. He and the tortoise became good friends, and the story of their race was told and retold by the animals of the forest for many generations. The lesson of the tortoise and the hare became a reminder to everyone that no matter how slow or fast you are, it's perseverance and determination that truly matter.